We're back on Campaign de Cuellar, and we have a special guest, Comet.
Hi, everybody. Say hi, Comet.
So we've had another busy week. Every week is extremely busy when you run a campaign. I don't know if it's like this on every level, but the congressional level, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, you say it feels like 1 week feels like a month.
Yeah, it does. We've done a lot, as usual. So we went to 2 Texas Tribune events. One was in Edinburgh at DHR. One was at UTRGV in Brownsville. And there was a lot of information about the economy. I feel like that was the main focus, really, of both. So we learned a lot.
Yeah, a lot of things are moving in the Valley. It's really awesome to hear.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a lot that can improve. I think we could go to another level and maybe multiple levels. I also went to the Hidalgo County Women's event. There were a lot of people there. Monica de la Cruz was there. A lot of political people. A lot of excitement. So that was cool.
Bipartisan event.
Yes, it was bipartisan. It kind of seemed, though, like there was some type of agreement that Republicans wore red and Democrats wore blue. I'm not sure. Someone could maybe confirm that for me.
Well, they didn't get the memo. We didn't get the memo.
I didn't have a memo, so I was wearing black and gray.
Heads up next time. Heads up.
Yeah, so I had a shift on Friday. I was in the ER all day. I got out late because it was busy at the end of my shift. So that happened. And there was also a photo shoot while I was in the ER. And then because I somehow didn't realize I needed to wear a white coat, I had to do another ER visit on Saturday.
Yeah, apparently doctors wear those things.
I don't really wear mine anymore.
I never wore mine as a
PA.
PA.
I actually was wearing a white coat at HMC because I realized that it was more likely that the patients thought I was a doctor when I wore the white coat.
Yep.
So I wore it for a while, but with COVID, it didn't make sense anymore, and then I just stopped wearing it. But I do have a beautiful coat that I wore for my photo shoot.
Yes, it looks very nice.
So Saturday, I did the retake on that and did some backyard photos. And then Sunday, I did photos at a courthouse.
And then Saturday, you went to Westaco Night Out?
Oh, yes.
Was that with the police department?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes. So good reminder. Forgot about that. So much is going on. So there was a Westaco Night Out. A lot of people out there, vendors, people were having fun. Met a lot of local leaders.
And then law school.
And then, Monday, I went into my supervising attorney's law office and learned a lot. Started working more on a case that I'm working on. Possibly going to work on some other cases as well. And then yesterday was end of quarter. Yeah. So we were very much about trying to raise money. Really the last 2 days.
There were some good donations.
Yeah, there were some good donations for sure.
Thank you,
both
guys.
Through digital and friends and family. So that was good. Also had some meetings yesterday. Had a law school class yesterday. So a lot goes on.
Yeah, juggling a lot. But more importantly, getting you out there to see the community and meet them. And everyone's really excited to meet you. It's been a great experience.
Yeah. Although sometimes they don't know I'm running.
Surprise, surprise. Right? So, anywho. This week, we were talking about how much the recent mass shootings have affected you.
Unfortunately, we have a lot of mass shootings in this country, and I don't see it stopping or slowing down, really, with our current policies. And it's interesting to see other countries. I actually hadn't really traveled that far until last summer. I had the opportunity to go to law class in London, and I realized how much safer I felt there. In a country where they have more stringent gun policy, people really aren't out there with guns, and even the police didn't have a need for guns most of the time. So I do think that policy matters. And I think that it's hard because we all have different perspectives. So I do want to give background on my perspective. So my perspective is I've never had a gun. And honestly, I don't really have an interest. It's not really in the culture of my family, maybe because a lot of them are Jehovah's Witnesses. So I honestly don't know if anyone owns a gun in my family. I'm not sure. I've never been told that anyone owns a gun. I think Nathan hunts sometimes with friends, but I think they lend him a gun or something. I also come from a background of doing my emergency medicine residency in Philadelphia at Temple University Hospital. Actually, I'm wearing my Temple scrubs right now.
There you go. Represent.
Yeah. And it was a very high gun violence area. So it felt like every single day we had gunshot wound victims. So that's part of my perspective. And then also I have an 11-year-old daughter, and I worry about her. I worry about her safety and maybe the possibility of a school shooting. So that's my perspective. And I do understand that I have to consider other perspectives because my perspective is very different. And I can't really create the best policy for everyone if I just consider myself.
Right. Like you consider me.
Right. Yeah.
So people like me who own a gun, who our family culture is very much into hunting season.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people in the valley, their profession depends on a rifle, being hunting guides, border patrol, policemen,
Yeah.
that they have their own, they don't have rifles, but they have guns.
Mm-hmm.
So you understand that it's not a take all. You're not going to say, I'm going to take your guns away. That just can't happen. It's not reasonable.
And I do follow an organization named Everytown. And of course, they want everything done. I don't think that that's realistic because we have to consider the perspectives of others like you or other responsible gun owners. But I think there are some things that could potentially be good ideas that could work for most people. And I think some of those things are red flag laws, background checks, gun violence prevention programs, educating gun owners about safety, and also making sure that people secure their guns like in a safe.
Right. And we were talking about the culture of gun ownership in the Valley or in District 15, Texas, compared to other ones. Do you want to touch on that?
I've learned through you that down here and in this district in general, people are better about gun safety. It's been in the culture, so people do know how to handle guns well. But it's different in other places.
Right. And that's why there has to be just some compromise.
Right. I think compromise is the answer to most things. And particularly on guns, I think we need to have people from all sides on the at the table.
You figure something out.
Yeah. The other thing too is mental health.
Right.
So mental health is a big thing, especially because of the fact that it tends to be tied to these mass shootings. So most of these people that engage in a mass shooting are in a mental health crisis. So that ties back to the red flag laws, because red flag laws are specifically trying to identify those people that are in a crisis and trying to delay them or prohibit them from getting a gun. So another interesting thing is that these people tend to be suicidal. Like, it's pretty severe, the mental illness that they have when they get to the point of doing a mass shooting. So I believe it's about 30-something% are suicidal. But the younger they are, the more likely they are to be suicidal. So if they are a K through 12 shooter, it's, I believe, 92%. And for college shooter, it's 100% suicidal.
So we're not hitting the underlying issue of these mass shootings, and that's mental health. We're failing.
Yeah, so we're under-resourced with mental health. We don't have enough psychiatrists. We don't have enough therapists. And we're looking at increasing shortages as we come to 2037. So more shortages of psychiatrists, of therapists, of counselors, all mental health professionals. And that's not a good thing.
And expensive.
Right. Super expensive, especially therapy. I feel like therapy in particular is really expensive. Also, too, with therapy, sometimes it can be hard to find the right therapist. So that's hard, too. And as far as medication, it can be hard to find the right med. And that's why we were talking about genetics as well.
Right. We were talking about genetic testing can be done to see what's actually going on. And then you were talking about learning through that organization that there's actually a test to see what meds are good for you.
Yeah, there's a genetic test I've seen that can figure out, like, for example, if Lexapro is the best medication for you or not.
And then the stigma.
Right. So stigma is also a big thing. So stigma means that people, or even yourself, can think negatively or have a stereotype about a person with a mental health condition. So when there's a stigma, you don't really want to get help. And it just makes it hard. Like, you don't want to say anything. You don't want to seek medical attention because you don't want to have that stigma attached to you. So that brings me to my mental health story. This started on July 17th.
Right.
With the launch. And I couldn't sleep. And I thought maybe it was just related to excitement. We're going to launch, I believe, at 7 a.m., do all the posts and everything. And it just persisted, though. I continued to have issues sleeping. Like, I'd wake up at 2 or 3 a.m., and then I'd be tired all day. And then I started having anxiety, bouts of depression. And I would tell you that I was struggling, and we weren't really sure what to do.
Even as clinicians, like, we knew, but we were just such in go mode.
Yeah.
It's like, we just got to go. We got to just keep on trucking. And until you were like, hey, something's wrong.
Yeah, you suggested therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So I considered that. But then I thought maybe sleep would be the thing that needed to be treated first.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got prescribed trazodone, and now everything's better.
Yeah, people don't understand. If you're not sleeping, that's very, very bad.
Yeah.
It can really affect everything, not only your mental health, but your just overall well-being.
So just trazodone, 50 milligrams at night, and it improved my sleep quality, and I got a lot happier.
First of all, you're very brave for telling this story to everybody, but why did you decide to tell everybody?
Well, because I think it's important to destigmatize. And so I think if I tell the story, maybe someone else will feel comfortable telling someone that they need help and getting the help that they need. And for me, it was necessary because I didn't think I was going to be good on the campaign, and I don't think I was being good on the team.
But then you were referencing Drew Barrymore. She's also been open about it.
Yeah, and I think other people have been good about being open. I was telling you that I like to watch Drew Barrymore when I have time. And she admits openly 20 milligrams of Lexapro, which is the max dose of Lexapro, has really helped her. It's hard to talk about.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you listened to me.
Well, I'm glad you acknowledge it. But the problem is we know the signs. We know what to look for. We know how to help get you help.
Right.
And so it's really important that if you don't feel that way, please go and see your medical provider.
Yeah. And I also want to say that I realize with the way I feel now, how good I feel. I'm not sure when the last time was that I felt this way. So then I realized that I was probably a little depressed for many years. And this just tipped me over the edge of the campaign and how overwhelming it has been, how busy it's been, really.
Right. Because you had a few bouts of grief that you think.
Right.
Helped.
So a lot has gone on with me. I had a very emotionally and verbally abusive marriage, and there was emotional and verbal abuse after as well. And then my ex-husband died in 2021 from alcoholic liver cirrhosis, and I actually fell into grief for about a year.
You can still grieve a person if you're
I didn't realize.
Divorced. Yeah.
I didn't realize it's going to be that hard. So I think I've been in some type of like survival mode for a long time. And I think I stay busy.
Yeah.
And finally something tipped me over the edge, which was the campaign.
Right. Well, I think survival mode, because although you were a single mom, quote unquote, before he passed.
Right.
Now it's like, oh, you really are a single mom. That support system was no longer there.
I will say that like when it happened, when he passed away, I felt like I was alone in some way, even though we weren't together and I didn't want to be together. Like just because the other person who loved my daughter was gone.
Right. Well, thanks for sharing that. And the reason I really thank you for that is because we just started the month of October, and October is Domestic Violence Month. And it is important, if you are also experiencing that, please reach out. There's several organizations throughout the valley that will help you and keep you safe.
Yeah.
And it takes everyone to talk about it. 1 in 4 women are actually experiencing domestic violence. So it's more common than we think.
That ties back to guns, because every town had a stat that 82% of women who are killed by their violent partner are killed by a gun. That's super high. And that also brings me back to what happened to me, because I didn't think he should own a gun. Not that I could really stop him, because I think if he would have had one, he would have either killed himself, killed me, or killed both of us. So that's why we need laws sometimes.
Right. It's not for your everyday person who handles rifles and guns safely.
Right.
I mean, we've talked about this before. Working in the ER, guys, we don't want everybody to have a gun.
And I've seen bad things happen. I've seen people that they were drunk, they were having an argument with their spouse, and then they shot themselves in the head and changed their life forever.
Pretty heavy content this week. But we really felt that we needed to talk about it. And thank you for being so brave and letting the people of our area know that. And if you guys want to ask any questions, obviously now after this episode, you can tell we will answer mostly anything. The phone number is 956-320-9073.
Yeah, and also don't forget to visit drquedforcongress.com and donate. Until next time.
Bye.